This episode of SESSLER'S Something is brought to you by the National Campaign Against Drunk Driving. Hello, everyone. I am here in San Francisco, not in Germany. I know a lot of stuff is happening out in Germany. Just so you know, we are taping this on a Monday. There is every expectation that we'll hear announcements from EA, from Sony, from Microsoft in the course of this week. We're going to try to do some videos based upon the significance of what is announced in reaction and analysis of it. But as of now, nothing has been announced, so don't hold it against me if you wonder why I'm not discussing that the Xbox One now costs 5 cents and the PlayStation 4 comes with a laser rifle that you can use to shoot things with. Anyhow, but I do want to talk about something that came up last week, and that was, it got a lot of excitement for a period of hours, and it does seem to have receded, but it was the sort of statement that, in my mind, reiterated something that had already been said by Microsoft with regards to the Kinect and the Xbox One, that now you can detach it from the Xbox One. We knew up until this point, when there was worry about the always-on status of the Kinect, whether or not that might be a little bit snoopy, peering into, you know, what you might be doing. It's on, it's Microsoft, you know. These things have always surrounded this company for time eternal. Now you can detach it, but they had originally stated that you could just turn it off from inside of the dashboard, but the box will work fine without it. A lot of people kind of saw this as a retreat. I saw it as a further clarification of previous statements, but more to my point, the Kinect clearly is not something a lot of people like. I could just see that in comments and just, you know, stuff that was even in the press, that this idea of it being forced upon people, that, you know, the additional cost that is probably being carried by the Kinect's inclusion into the Xbox One. And I have to agree, I have yet, in this current generation that's about to be ending up, ever been that excited about motion gaming, period. There are two games that I really like that were motion gaming: Wii Sports and the Boom Block series. I've played other games with motion, but I never felt it enhanced the game to the point that it felt essential. At other times, it felt sort of tacked on. And, you know, what we really saw, and even on the Wii, and this is strange because it was a motion gaming console from the get-go, you start to see these two types of games: games with motion and games without. I think this was more pronounced with both Sony and Microsoft because their products were sold aftermarket, and, you know, you just couldn't have the same traction rate with the number of consoles that were in people's homes. So a developer had to kind of say, like, okay, I'm going to make a game for the people who own Move and Kinect, or I'm going to make a game for everybody else. You know, yeah, you could yell out commands in Mass Effect 3, but that really didn't enhance anything other than the perception that I'm completely crazy. Despite my current issues with motion gaming, I'm not one to throw the baby out with the bathwater and just say it's a bad idea altogether. I think one of the reasons I don't like it that much is this siloed approach. It's either all motion or it isn't. And it was with this in mind that I don't have a huge problem outside of the price that the Kinect is coming bundled with every Xbox One. If a developer knows that it's in someone's home and it's one-to-one with every console, then they can try to insert some type of more modest application of motion or voice recognition because they know that it's available for people to link it up with their games. They're not going to be alienating, you know, 30, 40, 60% of the install base of a particular console. That could open up opportunities for something new, something engaging, that thing I can't conceive of, but which I'm actually kind of excited of hoping to play one of these days, because then you'll take that little bar that many of you, and myself included, might use as a doorstop, insert that USB, and we have something to be excited about, something that is moving forward. I would like to take a moment and acknowledge our sponsor, and let's just say they represent something that I do believe very strongly in, and I encourage you to pay attention to. This is the National Campaign Against Drunk Driving. In an effort to save more lives on America's roadways, law enforcement agencies across the country will join forces August 14th to September 2nd, 2013 to crack down on impaired drivers during the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Bear in mind, Labor Day is coming up, and Labor Day weekend of 2010 saw 147 people that were killed in crashes involving drivers or motorcycle riders with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. Hey guys, if you've been drinking, just find a taxi, or you know what, just stay put where you are. Law enforcement isn't just me cracking down now, it's me happening for the rest of the year. And this is something that involves jail time if you're caught. Really, there will be no warnings, and there will be no excuses. I'm not going to do questions this week, because there's another thing that I really wanted to talk about. I had a wonderful week of gaming last week. It was just awesome. I played Papers, Please, I played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and I played Gone Home. I do not know the last time I had a trifecta of 3 games that absolutely blew my brains out of the back of my head. All of them are smaller, all of them are indie, and all of them did something I had only imagined was possible in game design. I don't want to go into too many specifics with Brothers and Gone Home because they have such a rich narrative, and to talk about what I love about them so much could end up spoiling what is a fabulous experience for anybody out there. But I'll just kind of touch on the idea that the changes in controls that happen in Brothers, the way that you move both characters simultaneously with the sticks, starts to play so directly into the story that it causes a wonderful moment at the end of the game. Gone Home, it's just absolutely amazing. It's kind of like a Michael Haneke movie, with the sense that you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be and the requisite tension that comes with that, but it also takes such banal and pedestrian things that you find in people's homes and gives them a new way of looking at them, because everything becomes a clue and everything becomes important. Papers, Please is less of a narrative-driven game, and so I'll go a little more specifically with this. You're a border agent in some sort of made-up Soviet type country around 1982, and you've finally gotten a job, and you earn money by getting people through or not letting them through immigration, but the rules keep on changing day to day to day. This is one of those fascinating games where I suddenly became a bureaucrat. I was trying very, very hard to be a bureaucrat, and I also realized that I was making decisions completely divorced from morality, because I just had to show myself as just a functional bureaucrat. And while, yeah, it's no longer 1982, and of course there are issues with immigration in the United States, this was almost more enlightening as to how you have people that work at insurance companies and they deny coverage to people who are sick or dying because of some pre-existing condition or something like that. The ease, I'm talking 15 minutes into the game, I found myself doing something and behaving like someone that I would rail against in my personal life. I've always been a supporter, I've always enjoyed indie games, even though I sometimes have to chide myself that I don't get to play them as much as I want to because of the other big AAA games that seem to be coming into my inbox with more frequency than I would rather they have. But these 3 games really encapsulate what is so rich, so exciting about what's happening in this scene. Smaller teams taking chances, really honing in on trying to overcome certain design problems. These may not be the longest games, but these are some of the most satisfying games I've ever played. And I know there's a lot of discussion out there about what you're supposed to get for your particular dollar, and I think it becomes a matter of context. Because if you're buying a game like Gone Home on Steam, the same system that's allowing you to play Skyrim, you try to find an equity between them. But honestly, in the case of all 3 of these games, if I had paid the same amount of money and I got to play it inside of the Museum of Modern Art, it would make complete sense and would be absolutely justified.